So I'm Eloise Morgan. I'm Director of the Financial Services Division and UK FinPro here at Paragon. I've been in the insurance industry for 18 years as a broker, and during that time I've worked with clients all across the investment ecosystem, from the investors themselves through to the high growth companies that they are investing in. But it's our experience in the industry and the advice that we give to all clients at all stages. So a lot of brokers, until you reach a certain size of company, will not be able to help you, whereas we can help any company right from the seed startup stage all the way through to as they grow and scale, and ultimately up until when they exit, whether that be selling the business or doing an IPO. We can help every step of the way. We also try and offer more than just insurance advice to our clients. We use all of our connections within the wider ecosystem to help understand what more our clients need, who it would be useful for them to know, and then use those connections to introduce them to other partners that can help them along their journey. We can help anybody at any stage. So we will look at clients who perhaps are really early startup phase, where they just need a bit of general advice as to when they should think about insurance. And sometimes it might be too early for them. Where we can really add some value is when a company has received investment, whether that be at seed stage or Series A, and they're looking to make sure that they've got suitable insurance in place that helps them not just now, but also as they grow and scale. What we'll often see is clients who are at the start of their journey who just have no idea where to begin with their insurance. They're often told by an investor or by a client that they're looking to sign a contract with that they need to have certain insurances in place, but they don't know where to begin. So we'll sit down with them and help them understand what they need legally, what they're likely to need contractually going forward, and if there are any regulatory requirements. If they have something in place, which often clients do if they're more of a Series A stage, it's a really good time to just review the whole program and look at how you can make sure that that remains suitable for the use of the new investment as they're using that to grow and scale. It's quite often something that was taken out at the start of the company's journey, if they didn't have advice, is not often always going to be correct and help them on their next part of their journey. So it really depends on what area of technology you're in. For example, if you're a fintech or an insurtech company, there are certain regulatory requirements, and depending on what permissions you have with the FCA, then you'll be required to have certain levels of professional indemnity in place, all of which are pretty niche, and that's something that we have experience in and are able to advise on. Even if you're not regulated, professional indemnity is usually required as a contractual issue, along with cyber liability. And depending again on the services you're offering to your clients and to where they will be, then we can provide advice and solutions across all of that. On top of that, there will also be certain legal requirements and also things that investors may be asking companies to have in place. So we'll make sure that we're providing advice around all of those different areas. I think it's getting people to understand or helping them to understand the true value of insurance. So quite often it's seen as a box ticking exercise, an unnecessary expense, and totally understand that it's hard to want to spend your hard-earned capital on something like insurance. But what I'm passionate about helping people understand is that actually when it's used correctly and when it's on the right basis, it can be a really useful tool in your armory of risk management. There are lots of additional services that brokers and insurers can offer in terms of risk management tools, particularly around cyber. And for those in the tech sector, having a cyber liability incident, a data breach, that could be really catastrophic for a company. And often they're not even aware of the levels of cover that are available. So unless you're willing to keep a forensics company, a PR company, lawyers on retainer to help you deal with a data breach, using a cyber insurance policy to offset those exposures so that you've got those emergency response services there to help you when you need it is really invaluable and much more cost effective than doing it separately. It really depends on what stage they're at. So what we will do is talk to every client individually and establish what's important to them. What can we get that will be really good in terms of an insurance program from a wider long-term perspective, but then also the immediate business needs. So we'll make sure the legal requirements are taken care of, if there's any pressing regulatory issues, and also anything that needs arranging urgently. So we'll talk our clients through all of the necessaries, and then we'll help them to build out and understand at which point they should be adding in the next phase of the cover. We'll talk them through what's required from a legal perspective to make sure that they're not breaching any requirements there that are statutory. We'll then give them some advice using our experience on what will typically be expected by investors as they go through their different investment rounds so that they're prepared. And when the investors are carrying out their due diligence, it will speed the process up for them. That can be things typically such as directors and officers insurance. Key person insurance will typically arise as part of an investment round. If they're going through a regulatory application, we'll help them prepare for that by getting them the relevant quotes that they need and making sure that they're reflective of what is required by their permissions. If they're looking to grow out and scale, we'll use our experience to help them understand at each point of that journey what's likely to arise. For example, as clients use their investment to grow and scale, we'll often see that they are expected to have certain insurances in place at quite high limits. So we can make sure that we've selected an insurance partner that's going to be able to grow with them and provide that cover and the continuation. So typically where we will see some issues for some of our clients is where they've arranged something on a direct basis, perhaps online because it was nice and quick and easy and cheap when they first started out. But then they will have bought different policies piecemeal over a period of time to meet whatever requirements they had. And more often than not, they've then got a program which is a bit of a mess. So there's policies all over the place, different insurers, different types of cover, and the client doesn't really understand whether any of them are relevant, how they can align them to make them really simple for them, and also if it's going to help them going forward. So what we will do is sit down, work out all the different insurance policies and a way to align them so there is a comprehensive solution for our clients with limited insurer partners and also aligned renewal dates. It's also really important for us to understand not just where the business is now, but where it's going on its journey. So clients will often be frustrated or surprised when we ask for things like pitch decks and business plans. But it's really important for us to understand just to make sure that we're building out a solution that isn't just fit for them at this part, but also within the next part of their journey as they grow and scale. So quite often we'll see clients that will have received a significant amount of investment and they'll be using that to go and scale and grow in terms of different territories across the globe. Now, a lot of standard insurance policies will exclude revenue generating from the US, for example. So we will make sure that we're working with insurer partners that will be able to provide coverage for the company as it builds out in those particular areas. So it's just really important for us to help our clients understand what they're buying, because even if they have bought insurance that they're required to have, it might not be on the right basis for them. And even if it is a really low premium, it's a false economy, because if it's not on the right basis and it's not providing the cover that they believe it is, it's not actually going to be worth them having. They can contact me using the details below, and I'm happy to have a call or a meeting to give any advice.